want you to pay attention to everything that's going on today. First of all, I'd like to introduce to you Mr. Steve Capers. From the South Side, so sorry to say that. All right, Mr. Steve, he attended, I'd like to give you a little background about him. Very educated man. He attended Xavier University. He has a BA and an MA in economics, all about the money. And he has traveled extensively throughout the United States, international, United. Yes. He's traveled to South America. He's traveled in the Caribbean. He also began his career at Comic View. He was he was sweeping the floor. Yeah, right. Okay, but no, he was a production coordinator for BET. And Mr. Capers is the co-founder, CEO, president, EEO, whatever you want to call it, Knock Knock Production. He is the man. I welcome you, Mr. Steve Capers.
Wow. I get a little standing on, man. Thanks. My fellow Americans. I need this. No, I'm excited to be here. I appreciate the invite. This whole initiative that you guys are doing is really great. You know, honoring African American businesses and just things that have been taking place. What I want to do is kind of take you through a little journey where we start all the way. I mean, I'm not going to go to the early 1600s because that's where you had the jesters and, you know, the whole African pyramids and stuff like that. But we're going to kind of take place in the 1920s, Stephen Fetchner. He's very instrumental with how you see comics nowadays. But I'm going to have Kevin Williams, who's a comedian, writer, talk more about that because he's doing a documentary on that. But what I wanted to say is just that it's an interesting thing being a promoter. When I work with these comedians, they use the stage to kind of vent. Sometimes they're social, they can be political, they can be just outrageously funny with any kind of material that they throw out there. So I usually deal with more mainstream comedians in terms of their content. I do a festival in Martha's Vineyard called the Martha's Vineyard Comedy Fest, and it's profanity free. I wanted to be a little bit different than what HBO is showing out there. We wanted to see the range, the uniqueness, and you're going to see a little bit of that when Kevin gets up here to kind of entertain you guys a little bit. I'm a big fan of Bill Cosby, so I kind of follow his lead in terms of the kind of material he puts out there. And again, when I get these comics, I really challenge them. I want to stretch them. I want them to be very, very funny. I want them to hit home. Now, remember, comedy is subjective, so I just chose to be in this lane because I think it works. I do more corporate comedy events, so it can be a little safe, but we can also get a little edgy too. But it's just that I see it more beneficial. And a couple of things I wanted to tell you guys about. Did you know? Humor and stressing emotions cannot occupy the same psychological space at the same time. So if you come into a comedy show, if you're mad, you're going to be happy. Okay, you just can't be both.
Can't be both.
So you got to make up your mind. So I want you guys to be happy. Right?
Okay.
Laughter also increases the blood circulation and breathing and improves muscle tone. So I got a little bit more toning to do right here. Well, I'm not a comedian though, so don't laugh at my pain. All right. Okay, this is the other thing. Do you know that the sound of laughter gives a clue to what you want from someone? So if you're going to the boss and laugh at his stale joke or her stale joke, you do that, right? Hey, Tom, come here, Tom. Let's see.
Oh no.
I'm just saying, this is what it says right here. This is the messenger. Okay.
You can't have stress and comedy at the same time.
You
We're
cannot.
to keep you here.
All right, I need to deal with a lot of people, so. All right, so there's some cool little things about comedy, and I think it's very important that we need to laugh more often. I mean, it relieves the stress, and you have fun with it. But without further ado, I was going to have Damon Williams here, but he had to do something in LA with Roland Martin. But I got another guy, Kevin Williams. This guy's one of the best writers out there. and you'll see it as material. He's going to take you, maybe got some Black history jokes. Maybe he'll talk about his growing up with technology then versus now. So, don't let me spoil it. But Kevin Williams, you guys, comedian Kevin Williams, come to the stage.